This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau.
As promised, the Monitor is back. Last week we told you we would see you again, and here we are, minus Jennifer, who is off this week. Nonetheless, she sends her best and wanted me to pass along this message. And that message, we think you're going to like what you see today. Straight ahead, shaping Georgia's agricultural future. How the Georgia Farm Bureau Commodity Conference tackles public policy, financial uncertainties, and celebrates diversity in farming. Also on the show, bringing fresh food to those who need it most. How One Atlanta program is tackling food deserts and changing lives. Plus,
well, hey everybody, Ranger Nick coming up a little bit later. I'm spending some time in South Georgia in a tobacco field and learning about how tobacco is grown in Georgia, what some of the issues are facing these plants, including things with their leaves, things with these flowers, and what it means for the whole commodity of tobacco nationwide. That and so much more starts right now on the Farm Monitor.
Well, needless to say, Hurricane Debbie made a significant impact on Georgia's agriculture. While damage assessments continue, these images taken in the days immediately after the storm speak volumes. The Georgia Department of Agriculture reporting widespread damage in southeast and south central Georgia, with tobacco, corn, and pecans hit hardest. Some poultry houses were also flooded or destroyed. Georgia Ag Commissioner Tyler Harper advises those affected by the storm to take important steps moving forward.
You know, if you have damage, document that damage, take pictures, inform your insurance agent, inform FSA, inform USDA, and inform our team at the Department of Agriculture. We have links on our website set up that you can go to find out more information on resource availability and also how you can ensure that we know what's going on your farms and how we can best help moving forward to help our farmers, our farm families get through this. And I look forward to our partnership with the governor and help making that happen.
Well, meantime, Georgia Farm Bureau's annual commodity conference is where agriculture's voice unites on legislative issues. Damon Jones reports from Tift County on why this year's gathering may have been more crucial than ever.
Just like the agricultural industry here in Georgia, there's always plenty of diversity at the annual GFB Commodity Conference. Not only does the organization give out their highest award, this year to former president of the Georgia Beekeepers Association, Reg Wilbanks, but also welcomes in guest speakers from different sectors of agriculture and, most importantly, begins shaping public policy for next year.
The commodity committees are made up of people that produce those commodities, so they are the experts that we need to listen to on what they need and what the particular commodities need. And it is the beginning of what the whole purpose of Farm Bureau is, which is to represent farmers in the legislative arena. And the policy that is presented here and passed in Jekyll is what our public policy lobbyists and work on in Atlanta and Washington, D.C.
And 2025 could be an important year as there are a number of financial uncertainties facing the entire industry.
There's a lot of concern about prices. We went through a period of very high inflation in 2021 and 2022. A lot of the crop prices and livestock prices went up with that, but now we've started seeing some agricultural prices come down. Now, of course, the other side of the coin is if the prices that farmers pay for their inputs comes down, that provides some offset. But there's typically a lag, so you're starting to see some compression on margin.
But despite some of those concerning trends, there is still plenty of optimism for the future.
I don't see us going into a really deep recession. I think we have to commend the fact that the economy has held up as well as it has, given the degree to which the Fed has raised short-term rates. I think the long-term fundamentals for the economy are still strong.
Those in attendance also got an update from Georgia Commissioner of Agriculture Tyler Harper, who spotlighted some of the recent pieces of legislation that will benefit producers, including one that will help preserve farmland within the state.
As we close out the year, obviously we're focused on the Farmland Conservation Fund and that program. We're looking forward to convening the board and getting to work on protecting farmland here in the state of Georgia, building off of legislation that was passed this past session and the session before, and thanks to the General Assembly, the Speaker, Lieutenant Governor, and the Governor, we were able to get $2 million in that fund.
That is essential to keeping the state so agriculturally diverse, which is spotlighted by the 20 different commodities represented at this conference.
The fact that Georgia has a lot of latitudes and a lot of elevations let us grow everything from grapes and apples up in the mountains to vegetables and produce and tobacco and cotton and peanuts. We're the largest peanut producer in the country. So that whole variety, when you throw in the different latitudes, the elevations that we have, the soil types, lets Georgia be a major player in agriculture in the United States.
Reporting from Tift County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
Food deserts are often thought of as a rural problem, but in reality, Atlanta has one of the highest concentrations of food deserts in the nation, largely due to its size and population. However, as John Holcomb reports, a Fulton County Extension program is tackling the issue head-on, providing fresh produce to the community and educating residents about the benefits of healthy eating.
Here in Atlanta, these boxes of fresh produce are being packed into bags where they'll be loaded onto a truck and taken to and handed out in neighborhoods classified as what's called a food desert, an area with a population of people that are generally low income and have trouble finding or affording fresh, nutritious, and wholesome foods.
When we think about food deserts, we always think about like rural places, right? And you think Metro Atlanta, this bustling city, how could anyone be in a food desert? Well, we have a different problem. We have food swamps where neighborhoods are inundated with high calorie, nutritionally low foods, and then their access to fresh fruits and vegetables isn't that great. Like their grocery store might have some produce, but is it high quality? And then is it cheap or is it expensive? And normally it's expensive. And so people are gonna spend their food dollars on stuff that is shelf stable that they know is actually gonna be good.
That's where Fulton Fresh comes in, as it's a program that's designed to allow those in designated areas the opportunity to not only receive fresh produce, but get to learn how to store it, prepare it, and cook it into a nutritious and wholesome meal.
What the program does, it's a nutritional program, and we go in what's designated as food deserts in Fulton County. We do a nutritional class where the ladies teach various health topics. They do a food demonstration. They let the participants sample the demonstration, and then we give them a bag of produce. And what we try to do is whatever the demonstration is, we try to put that in the bag so they could go home and make that particular dish.
According to Dodd, they often have nearly 100 people at each stop, proving just how beneficial and much needed the program is in the areas that they visit.
They love it. We have, yesterday we went out, and at both sessions we had close to 100 people. We have people that follow the truck and come to locations because we do it just the 10 weeks in the summer, 2 5-week sessions. And if you come to the market, then you basically have your groceries because this bag of produce, you can eat off it a couple of days, depending on how many is in the family.
However, Tran says what's most valuable isn't just the free bag of produce, as she believes the skills and knowledge they're gaining will set them up for future success.
The skills that they learn here and a little bit of that education really helps them throughout. So then the next year when they come back, they're like, I did this and this and this, and I've seen my numbers come down. Like last year, I told somebody that if you don't like eating breakfast foods for breakfast, don't eat that. And she came back the next year and she was like, you changed my life. And I was like, what? Something so simple, but for things that are common sense for some, it's not for everybody, and we kind of take for granted what we know. And so it's really important that we get out here and do that education.
Reporting in Atlanta for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
Well, hey everybody, Ranger Nick. Coming up after the break, we're looking at this row of tobacco. Something is wrong in this row. I'm going to describe to you what the problem with this tobacco plant is and what UGA Extension is doing about it after the break.
While states like North Carolina and Kentucky dominate tobacco production, Georgia has a stake of its own with around 60 growers generating nearly $38 million annually, although that number will be significantly lower this year, no thanks to Hurricane Debbie. As our Ranger Nick discovered before Debbie hit, despite its small presence, tobacco remains vital to about 20 counties in South Georgia.
Holding a juvenile Juro spider. Until next time, for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you, like I always do, that enthusiasm is contagious. Well, you're looking high above a beautiful tobacco field in Willacoochee, Georgia, and I find myself today walking down this row of beautiful tobacco plants, and I stumble upon a friend and colleague, Dr. J. Michael Moore, of all people, to find... Dr. Moore is a professor and extension agronomist with UGA Extension and an expert world-renowned on tobacco. And Doc, joining me out here in this field today, I can't thank you enough. Let's just say I'm a rookie tobacco farmer. I'm a rookie in a lot of different arenas, and today a rookie tobacco farmer. What are some of the things you might help me identify in this field that might be good and not so good if you were invited to my farm to look around?
Well, let me first say that the farmer has done a lot of things right in this field. The color is very good. It's a very nice green color, causing full leaf extension and growth of more than 20 leaves per plant before the flowers are removed. So each of those leaves then will go into making a very high quality bale of tobacco for sale. But there are a few problems. This particular plant is suffering from the effects of a fungus, black shank. It's an oomycete. Most novices call it a fungus. It resides in the soil. It attacks the roots of the plant, and once it's inside the plant, it stops up the vascular system. No more water, no more nutrients going to the top of the plant. You see how it's smaller? You see how it's beginning to cut off the water and nutrients from the bottom up. So that plant then begins to wilt, to burn, to yellow and dry as it goes up the stalk and as it dries out. We're fortunate that we have varieties that are resistant to black shank disease. We're fortunate that we have 3 different fungicides that we can use to control the fungus in the soil, whether we have resistance in the plant or not. But I like to get it all together. Let's have the high resistance in the most recent releases that work best here in Georgia, high resistance to black shank, and an application of Orondis in the transplant water.
That's that fungicide?
That's a fungicide all around the roots as you place the seedling in the soil. And then we begin to cultivate on basically a weekly basis. We'll come through and begin to build this bed and support this plant by moving soil to the top of the bed.
Well, I've been told many times in my life, Nick, get in line. And what you're looking at there is a row of tobacco plants that are in line. Now, the next thing that you're looking at is a row of tobacco plants that are not in line, and they need to get in line, Dr. Moore, right? Get in line. Dr. Moore, why does that concern you? Why are those plants not being in that nice line is a concern?
Those plants that are out of line cause us serious problems as we mechanically harvest this tobacco crop. It's important that all the plants be standing upright and in line so that the machine passes through them without damaging the plant further. Sometimes if they're out of line, not only does it cut off the leaves, but it cuts the stalk in two. And we're not interested in taking the stalk from the field, curing it, and trying to offer it for sale. That's not what we want. We want the leaves.
Now, as I'm looking at y'all, I'm looking at these beautiful flowers, and a wise person told me these are not so great to have on the plant, and you would do away with them. Why is that?
There's no market for the seed that would be coming from the flowers in a conventionally crossed crop. So that flower sucks moisture and nutrients away from the upper leaves that we like to have nice and thick and as long as your arm. So we'll remove that flower, and then we'll remove the suckers that grow at each of the top 3 or 4 leaf positions.
Up here.
We'll physically remove them, and then we'll chemically control them for a long term, 7 to 8 weeks. so that we can grow bigger, nicer leaves, more marketable leaves, and then take them to market without those small suckers pulling nutrients and water away from the leaf.
Okay, so what you're looking at there is the harvester that's going to take those tobacco leaves from the field and get it closer to you, the consumer. This machine, this harvester, is going to take the tobacco plant, our model here, run between it and push all the leaves from the top to the bottom onto a conveyor belt. The conveyor belt's going to move the leaves up and stack those leaves kind of like lasagna of all those tobacco leaves, and then those leaves are going to be dried. And in this barn is where the drying process occurs. And Dr. Moore, what is happening with those leaves that are in the form of a piece of lasagna once they get in here?
Yeah, that lasagna that was built horizontally had pins placed in it. Now it's vertical and the leaves are upright, but they're held in place by the pins, and the air, heated air, can be passed between each leaf to dry it over a course of a 7-day period. Increasing heat all the time, but steadily forcing air through that box, blowing out the humid air and drying the leaf further.
So how long from seed to pack are we talking before it's used?
Yeah, it's something close to 3.5 years is ideal by most blenders' recipes. Sometimes it's a little quicker depending on what the interest rate is on storing that inventory.
So interesting. Dr. Moore, I can't thank you enough for today. I've just learned an incredible amount, and you are the guy. This is the guy if you want to learn more about tobacco. Thank you so much. Well, before we leave you, I want to encourage you to go online and learn more about what UGA Extension is doing to help growers like those tobacco farmers here in Georgia. And while you're online, check out the Ranger Nick Facebook page and the Farm Monitor Facebook page. And until next time, as we always say, for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you that enthusiasm is contagious. So pass it on. Y'all, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you right back here again this time next month. See ya. Holding a juvenile Juro spider. Until next time, for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you, like I always do, that enthusiasm is contagious.
Up next, groundbreaking research at USDA that's poised to revolutionize farming. The new superfood that's resistant to devastating pests, and how it could save farmers millions of dollars.
My name is Brad Edenfield, and I am a corn, cotton, and peanut farmer in Burke County, Georgia. We farm both individually, my dad and I, and my wife, and then we also have RT Farms Incorporated that we operate under. We incorporated back in the 90s. In our current environment, some of the challenges that we faced are input costs are higher than they've ever been. Commodity prices are low, and obviously that's a problem when we're spending a lot to grow the crop, but not being able to sell it for as much. Interest rates obviously are higher than they have been in the past. They're still at what I would like to argue are reasonable rates, but they're much higher than we've dealt with in the last 5 years. So, you know, trying to cash flow everything in the current market is definitely a challenge. So for me, one of the most wonderful benefits of being able to farm is that blessing that I have of being able to not only work with my family each and every day, but to be able to build strong bonds with them. You know, I was fortunate as a child to be able to be raised on the farm, and I have some childhood memories of just being almost a toddler in the combine with my dad, you know, and him explaining about what's going on. And then I've been able to form some of those same memories with my children. And then as I got older and really became more active on the farm as a teenager and was able to start working on the farm, you know, it was a wonderful opportunity for me to really be able to start applying some of those things that I had learned even as a child to my own future. And then they gave me the opportunity to be able to go to college. And Dad never wanted me to feel like I was forced to come back to the farm, that it was something that I had to do. Instead, he always made it as it was an opportunity that I had. And I want to be able to provide that same opportunity to the next generation, to my two boys. For me, that's one of the biggest things that I think about each day, is that I want to be able to give them the opportunity to come back to the farm, but make them feel like it's their choice at the same time. I really don't know how anybody farms without faith. Every day that I'm out here, I tell people all the time, I feel like I was called into farming. And I get to see and experience God and the impact that He has on our world each and every day in a way that I know I didn't feel when I was in an office every day in college and all. And so I know for me, getting to be able to just see the wonderful world that He's created and be able to not only have that opportunity to see that, but the freedom to be able to break away from work when I want to do things in my church or with my family. So, you know, farming has a tremendous amount of responsibility and obligation.
Well, finally this week, some exciting news for farmers and consumers as researchers at USDA's Vegetable Laboratory are finding new sources of pest-resistant row crops. In fact, one crop is showing high resistance to the devastating guava root knot nematode. As you're about to see, this could revolutionize crop protection and yield.
Root knot nematodes cause millions of dollars in yield loss for farmers and consumers in the U.S. annually. My job as a plant pathologist is to identify new tools so that growers can manage these pests in their field. Farmers spend a lot of money each year on pesticides and management tools to try to manage root knot nematodes in their fields. They cause significant yield loss, and those yield losses are passed on to consumer in the form of higher prices and higher reliance on environmentally damaging pesticides.
A root knot nematode is a type of plant parasitic nematode that lives in the soil. They're tiny microscopic roundworms that will infect the plant root systems. Plant parasitic nematodes are not harmful to humans, but ultimately they can destroy your crop yield and lead to unmarketable crops. The female will get situated at her feeding site, start to produce an egg mass and a gelatinous matrix, and that's actually, when you look at the plant roots, just with the naked eye, you'll be able to see the outline of that egg mass on the outside of the root.
So what we're doing here at the Vegetable Laboratory is identifying new sources of resistance in sweet potato, watermelon, and pepper, and trying to incorporate those new sources of resistance into new vegetable varieties using the latest genomic and phenomic tools. We screen hundreds of plants at a time by inoculating them with this nematode. Once we've identified a resistant plant, we can then perform genetic mapping to identify genes responsible for that resistance. Once we have the genes responsible for that resistance, we can then use molecular breeding techniques to help quickly move that gene into a new vegetable variety that growers and consumers would want to buy.
As part of our ongoing work on breeding for and selecting for resistance to nematodes, we've identified out of our breeding program here that I inherited 10-185, which is a white-fleshed, red-skinned sweet potato that has high levels of resistance to guava root knot nematode and southern root knot nematode, and intermediate to resistance in the slew of insect pests that we're also breeding for resistance. Although it has high yields and the flavor is pretty bland, but it's an important discovery because it has the genetics that we are going to move to release it publicly as a breeding line, and this will be deposited into the USDA germplasm repository. Currently, there is no new material that has been deposited with guava root knot resistance to date, and so we are hoping, as we discover material that is not publicly available, we will make that publicly available for breeders and other researchers dealing with this pest.
Before we leave you, don't forget, if you're looking for all the latest ag news and what's happening on Georgia farms, be sure you check out all of our social media platforms, including farm-monitor.com. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a great week.